As this primary has heated up, Bernie Sanders received a lot of criticism for not previously disclosing his tax returns as other candidates had. Now, bear in mind, he has every year released financial disclosures as a member of the Senate, but people wanted to see the tax returns, and it is a sensitive topic considering Donald Trump's behavior. So, rejoice, they're out. He has released 10 years of tax returns as of yesterday, and so now we can dig in and find out what it was that he was hiding all along. And joining me now to flay Bernie Sanders on his tax returns is Ken Klippenstein of TYT Investigates. Ken, welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Great to have you here. So we've got the tax returns. We've had a chance to look them over. First impressions of his tax returns, what did you think?
It seems like kind of a nothing burger. I do think he probably should have released the tax returns sooner, if only to quash all the questions that arose because of the delay. But what they found was that he made about $200,000 to $300,000 for every year up until the 2016 campaign, and that's a level of income that certainly is privilege. I don't want to suggest that it's not, but that's something that any doctor or lawyer or many individuals in the professional class make. So it doesn't seem that surprising to me.
Yeah, and look, I probably should have checked. I don't recall offhand what a senator makes, but I believe representatives make at least $140,000 a year. I'm assuming senators make somewhat more. So that doesn't necessarily stand out as too crazy. Did you notice anything in there that could potentially damage him, that could potentially explain why he didn't want to release the tax returns earlier?
No, I didn't. It's still not clear to me why he waited as long as he did. I would guess that he's got a few things on his plate right now. Mm-hmm. But the way that it was framed seemed a little disingenuous to me. There was a headline in the New York Times. I'm going to pull up my thing here to see it, and it was Bernie Sanders releases his tax returns. He's in the 1%. Yeah, and it's like, oh, got him. Which is, I think, the more important question is, what does he get? What are his policies going to do to people in the 1%? He said very clearly for years now, tax me more. I don't want to, be in this situation where I'm in a, privileged class of people. So I think that policy position is more important than where he stands individually. But make it that way you will.
Yeah, and I want to go back to my intro. Obviously, I'm being a little bit flippant about this. I do care about disclosure because Donald Trump refused to give out his tax returns, and I was personally getting annoyed with Bernie that he wasn't releasing it, even though I knew that there wasn't going to be anything crazy. I would say the most damaging thing, I guess, is that like the vast majority of candidates who have released their taxes, they don't give as much in charitable giving as you would imagine. Now, he dedicated the proceeds of an entire book to charity, which is not included in the numbers in his tax returns. But I saw that I think Beto released his taxes yesterday, and he gave, I think it was 0.3% to charity. Don't quote me on that. Maybe that would stand out, but it seems like most of them give a relatively small percentage. So I'm not sure that that's going to have any traction either.
Right, and even accounting for his income now, he's by no means, at the front of the pack among 2020 hopefuls. I mean, you've got, I think, if I remember right, it was Kamala and Biden, and also
You're talking about in terms of income?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was looking at it today, and even Elizabeth Warren made more money than he did.
Right.
I'm not sure exactly how. I'm imagining for most of them it probably is books, but it could be investments or something like that too.
Right.
So I wanted to ask you, you sort of mentioned this. One of the things that makes me think that I'm taking crazy pills, which are one of the only pills that I'm not willingly taking right now, is that, like the headline that you just showed me, and I saw Vox was like, Bernie Sanders is a millionaire. He still wants to raise your taxes. And they seem to think that they've identified a hypocrisy when his messaging is exactly the same. Before he was a millionaire, after he's a millionaire, he still wants to raise taxes on millionaires. I see that as a strength. Am I insane?
Well, there's this obsession in the culture, I think, with looking at the individual as opposed to what is the collective policy that we're going to adopt that's going to be effectuated on everyone. You see this again and again. Take, for instance, environmental stuff. How much debate is there about what EPA policy should be on all of industry and what they're dumping into the water versus how much debate is there about are we buying something with plastic in it or not enough or too much plastic, or do we buy? And when you emphasize the individual and consumption, that's like a micro level thing. I don't mean to suggest that it's nothing, but that's not going to have the same. I mean, is that going to change fundamentally the economic system that we have here today if Bernie made what 700,000 less in 1 year, or if he gave away every penny of that? I don't think that it would have anywhere near the effect that just levying a wealth tax across the board. I mean, that's not, you can't fund a country or fundamentally change a country changing one individual's income or consumer choices.
Even though we should acknowledge that he is willing to change his income level by raising his own taxes.
Right.
It's similar to the arguments that let's not talk about whether we should have more or less fracking. Let's talk about whether you personally flew on a commercial jet. Thank you very much for watching this clip from The Damage Report. If you liked it, don't forget to subscribe to this channel and ring the bell on YouTube to get notifications of our new videos. And of course, you can catch the full Damage Report live every weekday at 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific on TYT Network on YouTube TV.